Hey, what's up? My name is Samuel Leeds. I'm a property investor, and on this week's video, we're going to do a Q&A. Now, last week on Sunday at 7 p.m, I put a video out and had a lot of people asking questions about property. So on this video, here's what I'm going to do. Two things. Firstly is I'm going to answer some questions from last week. But secondly is I want you right now, during this video, while you're watching, to post your comments and questions. If you've got niggling property questions, whatever it might be, if it's around business structure, tax, deal sourcing, lease option agreements, rent to rents, how to raise finance, HMOs, how to find a buy-to-let property, how to structure it, finance it, mortgages, anything like that, comment below. Even if it's just how do I get started, anything at all, comment below and I will be answering your questions next week on Sunday at 7 p.m. So don't forget to subscribe, turn the notification bell on so that you don't miss me answering your question next week. And also please do me a massive favor and smash that like button. That would be awesome. Send the love. So what have we got? So Ruhel Mia says, is it worth buying from an auction and selling on? It's impossible for me to just say yes or no. It depends on what you're buying. So buying a property from an auction, buying it from an estate agent, buying it from a vendor direct, it doesn't matter where you're buying it from. What matters is the property itself. Is it a good deal or not? Pros and cons to buying from auction. The pros are often if you buy from an auction, properties are cheap. They've often got problems with them, which means that you can then fix that problem and push the value up. Also, the good thing about buying from an auction is that once you've put your offer in and it's been accepted and you win the bid, they can't pull out. But you can't pull out either, but it's just fast, no messing around. I've bought from auction many times. I've also not bought from auction. I've bought through agents. I've bought through direct to vendors. So should you buy a property from an auction and then sell it on? Yeah, do it, 100%. Just make sure that when you're buying a property, you've done the surveys on it beforehand, before you even go to the auction. You've viewed the property, make sure that you can afford to buy it. Here's the thing, how much is it gonna cost to do the property up and how much is that gonna lift the value of the property? If you get it for 100 grand and then you spend 20 grand on it and then the value is 120, well, you're gonna buy it for 100, spend 20 on it, then sell it for 120. You've made nothing. In fact, you're now at minus because you've paid for the fees and the solicitors. So it doesn't make any sense. So you've got to make sure that for every pound you spend, you're adding £2 worth of value to the property. And to do that, you need to know what's the refurb cost going to be and what's the end value going to be. So just make sure you get educated, you work out how to get the figures, but auction is a thumbs up from me if you do it right. What else we got? Tornillium Tims. I hope I pronounced that right. We're looking at a B&B property and turning it into an HMO. Is this a good strategy? We're semi-retired and don't want the headache that goes with a B&B. Is it a good strategy? A B&B might be a headache, but a HMO also might be a headache. So to be honest, tenants full stop are going to require work and management. The difference between a HMO and a single let is instead of having one tenant, you've suddenly got 4, 5, 6 tenants. So it does require management and work. So it's all about the power team side of it and the systemization of it. A B&B property, as long as you've got it managed properly and you've got a team that are running it, that could potentially be totally seamless and no headache. Same with a HMO. If you do it right and you have a power team in place, then that could also be seamless. If you haven't got a power team and you end up doing it yourself, whether it's a single let or lots of single lets, whether it's a HMO, serviced accommodation, Airbnb, B&B, it could end up being a headache. So if you want to do it as a HMO, make sure that you've got good HMO management companies in the area. How do you find HMO management companies? Google, go on spareroom.co.uk and look for properties that are currently being rented by the room, and then look at the agents' phone numbers, call them up, but definitely don't use a high street management company to manage a HMO. And also definitely, if you want an easy life and you're semi-retired, don't manage it yourself. Hope that helps. Thank you for the question. Elena Weaver says, could you interview students of yours who are doing female room shares? I could do. I do have students that do female only room shares. By all means, I can bring them on. I think what they'd probably tell you is that the disadvantage to doing female only, and there's a big disadvantage, is you've suddenly killed 50% at least of your market, of your potential tenants. But the good thing is some females, they do like lady only HMOs, lady only house shares. So anyone who wants a lady only house share will suddenly be really attracted to your ad. So I think it does work pretty well. I know Leah and Cheryl Miller, I know they've successfully done female only house shares. You can check up their story. Maybe we'll put a little link just now above the head. You can check out and see their story. Feel free to get in touch with them. I hope that helps. Gons Gaming. I'm sure Gons Gaming asks questions every week. Dude, this is like free one-on-one mentoring that you get just from YouTube. How awesome is that? When doing rent-to-serviced accommodation, rent-to-SA, you talk about corporate let agreements. But isn't that only if you're going to let your employees stay there? And shouldn't I, that don't have a company, use a management agreement? Just set up a company, dude. Costs like £17. You can set up a company on Company's House, £17. Within 24 hours, use a corporate let agreement. And it doesn't matter that your employees aren't going to be staying there. They don't need to be your employees. All it is if a company is renting an apartment, that means that you've got a management agreement, you've got corporate let, then you can put guests in the property without it being subletting. Whereas if you yourself have an individual AST contract, I think my advice though, Gons Gaming, would be to just be upfront with the agent and just say, look, this is who's going to be in the house, this is who's going to be there. Sometimes even the agent will give you the contracts and the paperwork to use. When I did the Financial Freedom Challenge, I was stripped from everything and I had no money, I had no contracts, I had no connections, I had to start all over again from scratch. I just went into an estate agency, I secured a rent-to-serviced accommodation deal, I told them my situation, they provided me with the agreement. And if you haven't seen the video of me doing this, again, we're gonna put up a little link right above my head, just click on the little link or the icon and you can watch the video of me starting again from scratch. So that's my advice to you. Sindra, I'm from Norway, really digging your stuff. Would you recommend going to the crash course given that it's probably based on the market? And this dude, same story, Joel Hakansson, I hope I'm pronouncing these right. I'm from Sweden, I'm very interested in flying over to one of your crash courses and starting my journey as a property investor. Is it possible with Brexit? 1 billion%. And the crash courses are selling out like they've never sold before. So again, I'll put a link in the description. The crash course, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know, it's a 2-day training program where you learn to become a property investor and learn all the formulas and what it takes to learn how to make money in property, even if you're starting from zero. And tickets are on the house from me to you, completely free of charge. Listen, man, I really enjoy doing these. I'm gonna be committed to doing a video like this every single week. Next Sunday at 7 p.m, I'll be answering your questions, which are on this video. So comment any questions below. I'll read them. I'll take some and answer them for the next Sunday video. Also, for anyone that doesn't know, I personally film and put out a new property investment video every single day. That's how crazy obsessed I am with teaching content and just sharing the knowledge that I've got. Why do I do it? I think I do it because number one, it keeps me fresh. Number two, I really enjoy doing it and I get a kick out of seeing people become successful. Number three is I am sad and have no friends. No, number three is just because when I go into an estate agency, people know who I am. Everyone in this space, in the property world, knows who I am. Why? Probably because I keep putting videos out on YouTube and that really helps me as a business person. How can people do business with you if they don't know who you are? So I love to just share the message and tell people who I am. So I'd really appreciate it if you did share the video, share the channel, tell your friends, tell your homies. Sometimes it's really awkward because people come to a crash course and they're there in secret and then they see next row one of their best friends and they're like, oh my gosh, you're here. Oh my gosh, you're here. Oh, there's my mom on the front row. Like, just tell your friends. Financial freedom is for anyone. Anybody can be financially free when they learn how to invest successfully in property, even starting with no money. I really believe that from the bottom of my heart. So if you have questions, comment below. If you want to be trained by myself or my top trainers in the UK to be a property investor, then book on the Property Investors Crash Course, link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Over and out.